Hello and welcome to Turner Sensei's Pre-Algebra videos. Today we are going to be working with different forms of linear equations. Previously we have worked with slope-intercept form, which is written as y equals mx plus b. Today we're going to look at two other forms, what's known as standard form, which is written as ax plus by equals c, and point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times, in parentheses, x minus x1. Now, in these equations, when you see them, you're going to see all of these variables, these letters that are in colors right now, are going to be numbers when you see them in equations. So let's take a look at a couple of examples of how we work with these and how we change them into slope-intercept form. We're going to start off by looking at how to get standard form equations rewritten in slope-intercept form. In future math classes, we're going to work directly with these equations, but for this class, all we need to do is be able to write this in y equals mx plus b form. So we're going to follow a set procedure here. Our first step is to move the x term to the other side. Remember that we can only move something to the other side if we use inverse operations. So to move over this negative 5x, we are going to add 5x to both sides. That leaves us with 2y equals negative 20 plus 5x. Our second step, because we are trying to solve this equation for y, is to divide both sides by the coefficient on y. Remember, we're trying to get y by itself. So now the only thing with y is this coefficient of 2. So we divide both sides by 2. 2y divided by 2 is y. Negative 20 divided by 2 is negative 10. And 5x divided by 2, we're going to rewrite this as an improper fraction. So after this step, we have the equation y equals negative 10 plus 5 halves x. Our last step is to simplify if we need to. We've already taken care of our division, so we're all right there. And then we rewrite this as y equals mx plus b. So we're just going to use the commutative property to swap the order of the addition and subtraction. And our final answer is y equals 5 over 2x minus 10. I'm going to leave this up for a moment so you can copy this down. Pause the video if you need to, and we'll move on to the next example. For our second example, we have an equation in point-slope form. Just as before, our goal is to isolate y. Again, we'll work with equations like this in this form in later classes, but for right now, we want to isolate y and rewrite this in slope-intercept form. So we have 3 steps. Our first step is to rewrite the equation using the distributive property. Remember that the distributive property tells us whenever we have a number being multiplied outside of parentheses, we have to multiply this number by both of the parts inside the parentheses. So after we do this, our equation will look like this. Y minus 5 equals 2x plus 2. So we've done the first step. Our second step is to solve for y. We have y minus 5. To get y by itself, we're going to have to add 5 to both sides. So we have the equation y equals 2x plus 7. Our last step is to simplify and write it in y equals mx plus b form. If we look, we've already done that. So this is our final answer. Y equals 2x plus 7. Take a moment to copy this down if you need. Pause the video if you need to. And when we resume, we will have a couple of practice problems to try. Here are 2 problems to try. Pause the video for a moment while you work on these problems, and then unpause and you will see the worked solutions for each problem. If we look at this equation, we see that it's in standard form. So I'm going to write that down to remind us. And when we have an equation given to us in standard form, we have a specific set of steps we're going to follow to rewrite this as y equals mx plus b. The first thing we want to do is get rid of this x term. We want to move it to the other side. So we're going to subtract 3x from both sides. And this leaves us with 4y equals 8 minus 3x. Our next step to get y by itself is to divide both sides by 4. So we're going to divide by 4 on this side and divide both parts of this side by 4. 4y divided by 4 is y. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And we rewrite this as negative 3/4 x. So we've divided both sides by the coefficient of y. Now, to get it in the most proper slope-intercept form, we need to use the commutative property and rearrange this equation. So our final answer is y equals negative 3/4 x plus 2. For our second problem, this one is in point-slope form. So I'm going to write that down. This is point slope. So here we have a couple of things that we need to do. It's going to be similar to our process for standard form, but slightly different. First, we have to use the distributive property. Y plus 7 remains unchanged. 1/2 times x is 1/2 x, minus 4 times 1/2 leaves us with a 2. Now that we have used the distributive property, we need to subtract 7 from both sides. So we have y equals 1/2 x minus 9. We verify that this is slope-intercept form. And that is our final answer. Students, please remember to fill out your notes and have those ready to be checked off in our next class session. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments section below or email me directly. Parents, teachers, and administrators, if you're looking to use these videos, there is curriculum alignment information below as well as links to additional resources. Thank you for watching.